Welcome, students. Continuing our chapter Coal and Petroleum. Today we'll discuss about the energy resources of the earth and how to save the resources in exhaustible. How can we store exhaustible resources? See, students, most of the energy that we use today comes mainly from three exhaustible resources of the earth. That's coal, petroleum, and natural gas. We have discussed that, right? And the amount of coal, petroleum, and natural gas present in the earth is limited. The known reserves of these resources will last only for about 100 years. And once the present stock of all these resources present in earth gets exhausted, there will be no new supplies of these fossil fuels available to us in the near future. Why? Because once they get exhausted, they take millions of years to convert the dead organisms again into fossil fuels in nature. And so fossil fuels won't be available then. It means once they will get exhausted, there will be no more fossil fuels available to us. So then where does our energy come from if these resources get exhausted? So what we need to do is these fossil fuels should be used with care and caution and not wasted at all, so that the existing reserves of fossil fuels can be used over long a period as possible. So basically we need to use these resources with care, with caution, so that they won't get exhausted. They will be available to us as long as possible. And moreover, the burning of fossil fuels, that is a major cause of air pollution. You know that. Because of because they produce various harmful gases, poisonous gases. They leave behind solid residues. They produce smoky flame and do cause air pollution. So they are the major source of air pollution when burned. And this use of fossil fuels is also linked to global warming, because you know that while burning they produce a lot of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide on burning. And carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas that creates forms greenhouse effect, and then the temperature of the earth will rise. That means global warming will happen. So the use of lesser fossil fuels will lead to cleaner environment. There will be smaller risk of global warming. So we need to reduce the use of these fossil fuels. We need to use lesser fossil fuels so that the environment remains clean, and there will be a smaller risk of global warming. So we can say that we should use fossil fuels only when absolutely necessary. Why? Why it should be used when there is an absolute need of it? Because then it will ensure us the availability of these fossil fuels for longer period of time. And moreover, it will reduce air pollution, it will lead to a cleaner environment, and it will reduce the risk of global warming. So we should use these fossil fuels when there is an absolute need. And these fossil fuels, you may be aware about it, that we can't prepare these in the laboratory from dead organisms, because the formation of fossil fuel is, it's very slow process, and the conditions for their formation cannot be created in the labs. So it's not possible to prepare these resources, coal, petroleum, natural gas, in the lab. Now, petrol and diesel, these are the two fuels which we use for driving vehicles, right? Two main fuels that are obtained from, both are obtained from petroleum, right? And these are the two main fuels which we use for driving vehicles. So we should make every effort to avoid the wastage of these precious fuels, because again these are obtained from petroleum, and petroleum is an exhaustible natural resource. So we should not waste these fuels. And in India, the Petroleum Conservation Research Association, PCRA, the full form is Petroleum Conservation Research Association. In India, this association advises people on how to save petrol or diesel while driving vehicles, because we need to avoid the wastage of these fuels. And the various tips for minimizing the wastage of these fuels while driving vehicles are like, we should drive the vehicle at a constant and moderate speed as far as possible. We should switch off the vehicle's engine at traffic lights or at a place where a person has to wait. Switch off the vehicle's engine at that time, and ensure the correct air pressure in the tire of the vehicle, because low tire pressure consumes more fuel. So ensure that the pressure in the air pressure in the tire of the vehicle is correct, appropriate, okay. And ensure regular maintenance of the vehicle, including like engine tuning. Ensure that vehicle should be regularly maintained, because it will consume then more fuel. That means it will lead to the wastage of the fuel, and these two fuels are most important fuels because they are used in driving purposes, and these are obtained from petroleum, that is an exhaustible resource, so we should take care while using these fuels. So this was all about the most important sources of energy, that is coal, petroleum, and natural gas. Thank you.